Hi everyone, in this video we will be restoring and repairing this iPhone 6 which has correct screen in the right upper corner and battery which is not fixed, and we will restore it to the full functional condition. For this I will need the repair toolkit, the adhesive stripes for the battery, the replacement screen, the tempered glass screen protector, and everything looks like this, and we will start our repairs. As you remember, this iPhone was also included in the tech lot that I have purchased a couple of months ago. You can see it has the correct screen on the right upper corner. The device itself is iPhone 6 on 64GB, which is running iOS 12.4.7, which is the latest for this version. So we're starting to disassemble the phone, and first we need to unscrew these bottom screws which are holding the screen to the housing. Using the suction cup, we were making the gap between screen and the housing to unlock the screen from the housing. So as you can see, the battery is not fixed at all, and it doesn't have any adhesive stripes under it. So we need to stick the battery back to its place, but before we need to disconnect the contact of the battery, because if you do not disconnect the contact of the battery, it can damage your phone if you disconnect something without disconnection the battery contact. Please make sure to arrange the screws on the positions as they were screwed into the phone. Because of the different length, you can damage your iPhone if you are screwing the screw into the wrong place. So please use the magnetic mat or anything like this which helps you to remember where the screw was. So now using the plastic spatula we can remove all the contacts and unlock the screen from the motherboard. So the screen is unlocked and battery is not fixed, so we are ready to install the battery with the help of the adhesive stripes. I will not replace this battery because it has 97% health and it is good enough, so it doesn't need to be replaced. Using the alcohol I will clean the place where the battery will be adhered. Now everything is ready, and the only thing we need to do is to prepare the battery for the installing on its place. So we're using adhesive stripes. So try to use the adhesive stripes which are recommended by the manufacturer, because it will help you to easily uninstall the battery if you will change it in future. So now we're placing the battery on its position as it should be with the help of the adhesive stripes, and now as you can see everything is okay. So the battery is installed on its place and now it is fixed. So everything is okay with the housing, so we will start to replace the screen, and first we need to remove the home button. So we will remove the metallic holder for this home button, and then we will remove the button itself. Please be careful when removing the home button because it is adhered to the screen, and it is very tiny. It is very easy to damage, so the contacts, please be careful when removing the home button, because if you damage this home button you will lose the Touch ID functionality for this iPhone forever. So now as you can see this contact is very tiny, so please be careful when removing the home button from the screen. So as you can see it's very tiny and it's very easily can be damaged. Now we need to remove the metal plate which is screwed to the screen with the help of the screws. So the screws of the metal holder have the similar length, so and it is not so critical to arrange them into right position, because if you put the screen into the wrong hole, nothing will happen. Also, please remember that this metal plate has contacts for the home button. Try not to damage them as well. So I'm talking about this contact, which is below on the left side of the screen. Please be extremely careful not to damage this contact. And also, in order to remove the metal plate from the screen, we need to unscrew this holder for the microphone, for the frontal camera, and for the proximity sensor. So everything also is adhered with the adhesive stripes, so please be extremely careful when removing everything from the upper part of the screen. So I'm talking about this contact, which is below. So this contact is for the home button, and also this contact is very fragile, so please be extremely careful not to damage when removing the metal plate from the screen. Now we can uninstall the frontal camera, the speaker, the ambient light sensor, and the proximity sensor from the screen. So again, all these contacts are very fragile, so please use the plastic spatula in order to remove everything from the screen. It is adhered with adhesive, and adhesive is pretty strong, so please be extremely careful. So as you can see, everything is removed from the old screen, and now it is time to install everything on the new screen. And the only thing we need to uninstall from the old screen is the holder of the frontal camera. So we don't have this part on the new screen, so we need to transfer old one to the new screen. So I'm putting it back to the place. Now I'm removing the protective film, and I will put the contacts for the frontal camera, ambient light sensor, speaker, and the proximity sensor back to its place. This process is very involving because the parts are very small, and it takes much time to put them into the right place. The ambient light sensor and proximity sensor have extremely tiny contacts, so they're extremely fragile. My hands were shaking when I was installing this on its place. It is very difficult and it takes much time, so please do not hurry up, otherwise you can damage these contacts, and then you will need to buy a new part, and the new part is very expensive. And make sure that the camera is installed on the right position, as well as the speaker. With all of this installed on its place, so I need to put the metal holder, which holds everything on its position as it should be. And after the metal holder is installed, we also can install the metal plate on the back of the screen. So, and now when everything is installed, we need to screw it with the screws back to the place. So the upper part of the screen is installed and ready to go. Now we will install the screws which are holding the metal plate on the screen. Now we need to install the home button back to its place. Everything is very fragile and tiny. As I mentioned before, my hands were shaking when I was installing this back to its place. It's very difficult, so please be extremely careful. As I mentioned before, if you damage the home button, you will lose the Touch ID functionality for this iPhone forever. Now we're installing the metal holder for the home button. Using the screws, now we're putting it and fixing it on its place. Now the screen is fully assembled and we can install it on the housing and to connect it to motherboard and to the battery in order to check the functionality of this new screen. It is extremely important to check everything before we will close the iPhone. Now we need to connect the battery to the logic board. And after this, let's switch on the iPhone. We're pressing the switch button and nothing happens. Then we will press the battery contact again. And as you can see, now we will see the Apple logo. Let's wait till the phone starts. So now we will check the functionality of the sensor. So we will check how screen works. And everything looks to be fine. So as we can see, everything is working, and now we can install the metal holders for the contacts of the screen and of the battery as well. On this stage, as I mentioned before, please be careful and try to arrange the screws on the position as they were on the phone before. If you miss the screw, you can damage the iPhone because screws have different length. I'm using the magnetic mat to arrange the screens, and I know where the exact screw particular was, so I'm not afraid to miss the place. Also, when I opened this iPhone for the first time, I have mentioned that there was one screw which was missing, so I can use the screen. I can use the screw which I had before in order to install it on this iPhone. Now we're installing the metal holder for the battery contact as well. So everything is good to go now. So the last thing I need to do is to install one missing screw, which was missing before, but I had the additional one, so I can put it on its place. Now everything is good, and the last thing we need to do is to clean all the fingerprints and traces of the repairs, so in order to make the entrails look as authentic as new ones. It's not the critical part, but everything should be beautiful. Now everything is clean and looks like new, so we can install the screen on its place. The screen was installed and fixed, everything looks fine, but in order to be sure we need to check everything from all sides in order to persuade that everything is installed properly. And the final stage, so we need to screw these two bottom screws which are holding the screen on the housing. As we can see the Apple logo. Let's wait while our phone is starting. So the sensor works fine. And now we'll check the functionality of the screen in order to be sure that everything is functioning as it should. I can see no issues. So in order to check the Touch ID functionality, I will remove the protective film. This is my favorite part of the repairs. To remove the protective films from the new parts, I like it very much, I don't know why. It's like an aesthetic pleasure for me. The Touch ID functioning well. So that means that we didn't damage any contact for the home button and on the metal plate as well. It looks very fine. And the last thing we need to do to finalize our repairs is to install the tempered glass screen protector on the screen. It is very easy procedure, just simply clean the screen from the dust and to put the screen protector on the screen. And this step finalizes our repairs. Thank you for being with me in this video. In the next video we will repair more iPhones, so please watch my channel and subscribe if you don't mind and if you like what you have seen on this video. Thank you for watching, goodbye.